All right, we are in step 1.3, identifying your genius. So I wanted to share kind of what has unfolded for me. One, I want you to know that you don't have to have it all figured out. So as I started my evolution and I was really keyed into this idea of well, when you just discover your genius, then you turn it into a business. And it's a process. Know that it will evolve. I didn't know that. I thought I had to just have it figured out. And then I couldn't figure out why my business wasn't going where I wanted it to. I just figured I spent too much time and energy on uncovering my genius. So I want you to know that just keep moving forward. You don't have to have it all figured out. It will evolve. The more you practice, the more you move your business in the right direction, it's going to just show up. But there is something already without doing anything extra that you're already really good at. Just start there. For the purpose of this challenge, just start there. What are you already really good at? And either you will get even better at it, or you'll uncover there's actually something that you don't even realize you're good at because you're so closely connected to what you're doing. So I want to share, and you'll have a worksheet. Let me just pull it up. You will have a worksheet here to help you identify your genius. So there's a couple things that get in the way of you recognizing your genius, and those are really three obstacles. One is the blind zone, right? I just mentioned it, that we're so closely connected and wrapped up into the day-to-day distractions that we don't even realize what we're good at. We think what we're good at, everybody is just naturally good at it, but that's probably not the case. There's something that you think everybody is good at, but in reality, they're really not. You just happen to have this innate ability to just do this one thing really well. I'll share some insight, which maybe will help you on yours. When I was creating my podcast, I really wanted to get it right. My most recent podcast. I've had 3 podcasts. The first 2, I didn't do any strategizing to it. I was just I'm going to speak, right? And the third time, I really wanted to be effective. So I did some work around what is my genius? What can I talk about? And one thing, there's actually two themes that have really followed me throughout all of my adventures, all of my endeavors. There's really 2 themes that I just happen to do really well. It was just part of who I am, part of the relationships that I have, how I show up, how I seem to make people's day better. And it was that I was really good and really desired to inspire people and support people. Those are my geniuses, inspiration and support. Those are really good. There are plenty of things I'm not good at, but I know and I can own and appreciate the fact that I can naturally inspire and support people. I want to help. So what is it? Really just kind of try to extract yourself from your day to day and almost have this out of body experience where you can look back and just go back to 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, when you were a kid. What was naturally something you were just really good at and that has carried you through these adult years into your business? Maybe it's something you've gotten a lot of compliments around. Maybe it's something that has to do with what you've achieved in your lifetime. So that's kind of how to overcome that blind zone. Another obstacle that might be stopping you from understanding or identifying or even accepting your genius is really the social conditioning. And I have an example around this too. As a chiropractor, I've been socially conditioned to be just a really good chiropractor. In the chiropractic industry, as a whole, chiropractors kind of shame other chiropractors if we choose not to adjust as many patients as we possibly can. So I was socially conditioned to just be a good chiropractor. I didn't even give myself permission to think that I was actually a really good business strategist, that I actually had really good ideas, that I could do something outside of just adjusting spines all day. I was socially conditioned to just believe that I had to adjust people, and that was my gift of being a really good adjuster. So look in your life. Are you being told that it's not okay to do what you really want to do? Are you being conditioned to believe that what you want is not desirable or not good enough, or it's not a real job, right? I meet those people of like, well, that can't possibly be a business. I want you to think otherwise. I want you to just try to pull down about social conditioning. Try to pull back the layers and see what's really at the core of you. Another obstacle that might be in your way is this pursuit. For you to understand what your genius is, there might be something blocking you, that you might be pursuing external validation. Excuse me. And what this looks like, and I have plenty of examples of this too, is like the people pleaser in me. You know, when I started wanting to coach, there was this part of me that thought, well, gosh, if I do this side business, if I do this side hustle, I wonder what my patients are going to think. Like, this is what I really want to do. This is what I'm really good at. But see, all these people here, like, what are they going to think of me? Are they going to stop coming in? Am I going to lose my income because they think I'm trading my job as a chiropractor for something else? There's a lot of external validation. I was kind of needing that before I could fully confidently step in. So just be mindful of needing that external validation. What does that look like? So really try to uncover what those obstacles might be. Again, know that you're going to have these unique talents that are uniquely yours. You're going to grow and evolve. Your genius is going to it's going to evolve, right? Think of like a little child who is maybe really good at lots of different sports. I mean, I'm thinking of a boy, right? Like a 5-year-old boy. He can play baseball, he can play basketball, he can kick a soccer ball, like he can do all of these things. So maybe he's just like this natural athlete, right? But through work and dedication, he's going to really find what that one sport is that he can take to the professional level, right? Through growth and involvement. So you're here doing the same thing. You're just this child trying to figure out what your business purpose is, okay? So don't be hard on yourself. Know that it's a process. You don't have it all figured out, but do take what you do have figured out and just roll with it, move forward with it, okay? And the next thing that I want to shed light on is that you can actually ask people, since you are so closely connected with you, and maybe you're having a hard time seeing what your genius is, you can also ask people that you are close with, close family or friends that know and like you and trust you, and that you also do that. But know that there are also consequences to asking the people who are closest to you. For example, when I wanted to become a chiropractor, it was something that I really, really wanted, but that path was going to be very hard and very challenging and very expensive. And my mother, the person who is closest to me and knows me more than everybody, tried to talk me out of going to chiropractic school. Not because she was trying to hurt me or harm my path or anything. She was actually trying to protect me. She didn't want me to go through that hard journey. And so she told me, she was like, well, you make a really good teacher. You would be such a good teacher. Why don't you just stay here and just become a teacher and not go through chiropractic school? Now, she was right. At that point, I looked back. I used to be mad at her. I look back at that. I'm like, wow, here I am, right? I'm teaching. I make a good teacher. I really do. I took what she told me I was really good at a long time ago, and I am applying it to my life. I really am a good teacher. And it was one of the reasons I got burnt out in practice is I didn't get a chance to teach people what I really wanted to teach people. So, what have people told you that you're really good at? What have you maybe tried to block out? What are some things that you maybe won't even give yourself permission to accept? Um, you can ask currently in this day, you can ask your close friends and family, but know that they might, if you're trying to do a business venture, they might think, well, that's not a real business. Like they might be trying to protect you. So know that it comes with like that advice comes with a grain of salt. Don't take their negativity or their Debbie Downer attitude or their naysaying and let that stop you. That's why you're in this group. That's why you're doing this work. That's why you're plugged in here, is because we're teaching you how to take that calling that's on your heart and do something with it. So don't let the people closest to you talk you out of it, okay? Because they will. They will. And you have to know that that's to be expected. And you can just say, I appreciate your feedback. Thank you. And then just ignore them and go and do your thing, right? We are here to change the world, and the people closest to us might not understand what's in here, okay? And then again, to fully more uncover your genius, really take inventory of your passions. What are you excited about? What could you do all day long and never get tired of? What I'm doing right now, I could do all day long and never get tired. Never get tired. Like, I love this stuff. I also love making jewelry. I could never get tired of making jewelry. It's one of my passions. I kind of turned it into a business. It's really just a side business, but maybe one day, like it's kind of table, like I might turn it into something bigger later, but this is really what I'm being called to do. My jewelry making is really a hobby. So you have hobbies and you can turn your hobbies into businesses, but you also can turn your passions into a profitable business as well. My passion above making jewelry is talking about business. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, and I want to help other entrepreneurs now. So what can you do all day long and never get tired? Take inventory of your passions. That's probably where your genius lies, okay? Think about any skills that you've been paid for in the past, or what people have maybe hired you for or come to you and asked you for advice. And then also the last step, and this is what some of you in the group have already done, if you really cannot figure out what your genius is, that's where hiring a coach or consultant, because we can be clued into you. We can listen. If you talk to Jennifer Miller, I listened to her entire life story in 30 minutes. She told me her entire life story. In the first 5 minutes, I picked up on what her genius was, just based on listening to her. So if you need support around that, we can schedule time to really identify and hone in on what your genius might be. So I'm here for you. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. You'll have your worksheets below. You can print those out. Stay the course. Don't skip ahead, and I'll be back with step 1.4 on the next video.